academia also feels it alone cannot work without the support of industry. So there is a bigger responsibility on the industry to get involved with the academia. There should be a policy across the university level so that ethical usage of AI should always be recommended. When the students, when they join a particular program, so they'll not be aware of what exactly they would be wanting to do in their career. JSS Science and Technology University has one of the richest, and you can call it as one of the oldest incubation center. So basically, the idea and the corresponding proof of concept will make a lot of differences.
Hi, this is Prof and you are watching Education Post News. With me here is Dr. Anil Kumar sir. He's from JSS Science and Technology University. He's also the Dean of Computer Science Department. Thank you for coming here, sir.
Thank you for having me here.
The first question is in this Industry Academia Conclave, what should be the conclusion? What should be the outcome for this event?
See, the conclusion is very simple. How industry and academia can bridge together, and there was very important, deliberations that happened in the morning, like how the mind and heart should be connected. Basically, how education can bridge the connection between heart and mind. So only through proper education, the bridging can happen. And this bridging can happen by bringing together the industry and the academia together. And that will be useful for solving various societal related issues.
Definitely. Thank you for sharing that. But there's a question there are many policies that came out like NEP that when came in 2020. After that, many policies came up, but there's always a lack of something. I don't know what exactly is, but there's a lack of something that is required to bridge those gaps that is still there in the industry academia between them.
See, basically every industry talks about there is some kind of limitations or challenges that they have with respect to academia. And at the same time, academia also feels it alone cannot work without the support of industry. So there is a bigger responsibility on the industry to get involved with the academia and produce, the talented or skilled, it could be students or graduates. So for that to happen, we should have, the right set of industries coming in, pitching in with right amount of not only investment, but also a wide range of support in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the other facilities that they can offer. Only with these things, it can happen. But having said that, the will, anybody with the will or any industry with the will to make that change is very important. Only with the change or adaptability, things can go hand to hand, and the industry and the academic can go together to make that difference.
Thank you for sharing that. But what are your views on UGC POP, Professor of Practice, as it's a policy that connects industry and academia both? So what are your views on that?
Yes, POP, Professor of Practice, is a very important, very important practice that is very much required by all the academics. And there are a lot of people, especially the people who have rich experiences, and that rich experience can be shared or utilized by universities by hiring people, especially from the industries, and then those things can definitely motivate and help not only the faculty but also the students to come out really well, not only from the point of academics but also from the point of entrepreneurship and all those things. So that's a very important post.
Okay, let's talk about AI. AI is everywhere. We all use AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, or Perplexity, anything, and the government even promotes those things. So how should the institution whether they should guide the students to use it properly or just make it on their own?
No, basically, because even today also there was a deliberation, because AI has it has both the good side and
Pros
the
and
gray
cons.
shade. Yeah, it has both the sides. But definitely there should be a policy across the university level so that the complete usage of AI ethically So ethical usage of AI should always be recommended,
Right.
and it should be made aware to all the students as well as the faculty, so that the right use of AI can definitely benefit the university.
Definitely, and even AI kills the creativity as well, because we get dependent on that. So, talking about research, research is the most important thing that an institution should have. So, how your institution is doing on that part?
See, basically, we have our, the research dean research office is, they are working very hard, ensuring that, the students strictly follow the guidelines that they have set up, especially in this, the onslaught of AI. So rigorous ethical practices have been followed by the university to ensure that the students may not fall into unethical practices and other things. So we do a lot of checks and balances and ensure that academic integrity is completely maintained.
Definitely. Nowadays, the students, they are not actually focused what they should do in the career, as a career. So how should the institution, or you, especially individuality, mein, how should you guide the students? What do you want to say about that to the students?
See, basically, when the students, when they join a particular program, so they'll not be aware of what exactly they would be wanting to do in their career. So it's only after some time that the passion towards that particular program and the passions that they have towards other programs will come upon. So basically, what we need to do is we need to identify those things, and that identification becomes very important. Maybe in the second year, the third year. So some become very important. Some have the habit of their skills focused on managerial skills. Some have skills focused on coding and other things. So it is at that point of time the counseling becomes very important. So we have a lot of clubs in the university, and we also have mentors. Basically identify those students who are talented towards different skills. It could be managerial or it could be technical, and accordingly, or even in some terms, in some cases we have also students inclined towards startups. So basically we promote all these activities by having right mentors and ensuring that at least their passion is completely taken care of.
So, talking about startups, how your institution is taking care of the startups? Is there any incubation cell?
Yes, basically, JSS Science and Technology University has one of the richest, and you can call it as one of the oldest incubation center. We call it as SJCE STEP, and one of the well-known, incubation center in probably I can say in the whole of India, because it has received a lot of grants, and there are around 21 startups which are currently housed in that particular step. So, and in addition to it, we also have the seed money that is granted by Government of India. So where we encourage the students, especially that's what I was talking about. Initially, when a student has some kind of an idea, and if those ideas looks promising, what we do is we will just fund them with something called seed money and try to convert that particular ideas into products, or at least into proof of concepts, and later they can be transferred to what is called as the center that we have, which we call as a SDC step.
Definitely. Like, do you think that before doing a startup, a student should have the actual experience of the industry by working on the particular industry or something like that?
No, not exactly, because students will be very fresh. They'll be out of college. Some may not be having complete exposure, but at least the idea that they have, that they think can make a difference. So basically, the idea and the corresponding proof of concept will make a lot of differences. Because if the proof of concept looks to be, promising, definitely, the ventures or the funding can really happen.
Thank you for that. My last question is, one policy, if you have the power to change a policy, make a policy that you want to impose on the students, or not saying impose, it's a harsh word, but if you want to make a change in the policy, what would that be?
So basically, what I would do is basically strengthen the industry connect right from the first year, because what we do is we have industry connect. Most of these connects happen in the later part of their career. Like for example, it could be in the third year or in the fourth year, because that's where placement and that's where the training comes in. But if in case, if in case we can just bring that to first year, if in case we have an intervention from the industry, it could be related to training or it could be related to any kind of internship. I think the students will be more exposed to what they actually want to become in the near future.
Definitely, because at the last semester or the last year, they are actually pressurized about examinations, correcting all those things. So they don't actually focus on startups and all those things. So that's a good point that you pointed out. Thank you for having here, sir. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
very
sir.
much. Thank you.